Morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Tuesday, the 10th day of October, 2023. I hope you're all safe and healthy today. I hope you had a good weekend and that your family had a good weekend and that you're all safe and healthy. Speaking of health, blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field who, along with the first responders, are every day saving lives. Those also who pick up garbage for us to keep streets and sidewalks and places clean and disease free, and those that make deliveries like mail, food, water for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover the teenagers and children that are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. Those people who are the victims also of prostitution and child prostitution, pornography and child pornography, human trafficking and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, the profiteers, and the perverts of these things. Finally, double blessings on the homeless, nearly 600,000 men, women, and children homeless in the United States of America, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. So there was a basketball game last night. The first basketball game for the Knicks in 2023, but it was a preseason game. So the thing is, with preseason, especially the first preseason game, people will tend to make too much out of it. Last night's game was more like a scrimmage, really. It was more like a scrimmage. It wasn't, obviously it wasn't a real game. It wasn't anything that counted. The Knicks had their regular five starters out there, played them, limited minutes. Mitchell Robinson and Quentin Grimes played a little bit more minutes, but everybody was rusty. And if you see, preseason games in general, you will notice the teams will not shoot well. And it's just a common thing because everybody's just coming back. They got to get their time and so on and so forth. So the Knicks did not shoot well. The Celtics did not shoot well. It's just that type of thing when you have a preseason game. So what do we get out of this? Well, you start to get the kinks out. So Julius Randle, starting five, Mitchell Robinson, Jalen Brunson, Barrett, Grimes, they all got the kink. They were getting the kinks out, getting started. I liked what I saw in terms of what Tom Thibodeau was doing. And what you see the coach like Thibodeau do during the preseason is first he gets his starters some run, like I said, get the kinks out. Then he'll experiment. And this is two things that happen that you'll see Tom Thibodeau do in a preseason that you won't see him do during the regular season. Number one, you'll see him play players that's not necessarily going to be on the Knicks, but he's showcasing them for trades. You will not see that during the season. Some people always calling for that. Why don't he play so-and-so for a trade? Well, during the season, we're trying to win games, not showcase players. Okay, so he's not going to just put people out there. Last night, he put Evan Fournier out there for 21 minutes. That's to show the league Evan Fournier. Okay, that's not because Evan Fournier is going to be any major rotation player for the Knicks. That's to show the league Evan Fournier. What Evan Fournier got last night was minutes that would normally be given to Josh Hart. He wasn't playing last night. Okay, so that's what you're going to see. And you're going to see different times. Like last night, there were some players that didn't get no time, like Isaiah Roby, Dwayne Washington. I mentioned Josh Hart, Dwindler, Archie Giacomo, and you got Martin. You're going to see, like, you may not see Hart play. He'll probably play again later in the preseason. But all these guys are going to get some minutes in the preseason. Because remember, guys are trying to make the team. So he's going to give, the first game, just because a guy didn't play don't mean he's not going to play or doesn't mean there's no plans for him. And just because a guy did play don't mean you'll see him again during the rest of the preseason. So people take too much out of it. But what I did see, to me, what stood out last night is the starting five looked pretty sharp given all the conditions I just mentioned. Barrett had the Ray Charles glasses on, but I give him a pass on it for the first preseason game. But what was impressive about it, he was 9 for 9 from the line. So that's good. Mitchell Robinson looked like he's ready to play. And the thing about Mitch Rob is he's used to playing with the starting unit. So the second unit is not really the second unit right now because, like I said, this is preseason. He plays well with the second unit, obviously, also, but this was a bunch of guys he wasn't used to. But he still looked very good. He still couldn't hit a free throw. But, hey, we're doing all right. Julius Randle looked very well, looked in shape. The ankle looked good. He moved very well. That's what you want to see from Julius Randle. It's not necessarily how much he scored or how much he rebounded, but that he's healthy and that he looks ready to go in the regular season. Brunson looked sharp. Brunson looked sharp, and it's real early, and he looked sharp. One thing I will take away from this game is Brunson is going to be ready to play opening night at a high level. He's got things on his shoulder, chips on his shoulder, that he got things to prove. This is very good for the Knicks. Very, very good for the Knicks. So the starting five looked good. Grimes looked good. He was also shaky shooting a little bit, but he was still 2 of 5 from the 3-point line. But I can see already this is going to be very good for us. Now, the combination that I noticed that Tibbs was playing a lot last night that he was showing was combination of Grimes, Emmanuel Quickley, and Dante DiVincenzo. He played those three significant minutes together, and the jury is still out on it. I think and I understand for Dante DiVincenzo's sake, the newest addition to the Knicks, he's going to fit very well. Last night, again, he was getting the kinks out. He was getting used to his teammates, getting used to where he's going to be. I'm going to tell you right now, give this kid 20 games, and he's going to be acclimated 30 games, and he's going to be dangerous. He is a very high-quality shooter, IQ player that you would expect. A little weaker on defense than Grimes, but you'd expect that too. Grimes is a very high-level defender, okay? So that's no slight on Dante DiVincenzo. He's going to fit very well. But the combination of those three playing last night, it was okay. I mean, Quickley looked like Quickley. That was another guy. It seemed like he didn't have no kinks, which is unusual. I mean, he came in and was doing what Quickley does, okay? And really, Boston didn't play any of their starters or any of their rotations. Like I said, it's more like a scrimmage. But with Quickley and Randall and Robinson, you could tell they were playing against the guys that not the starter because they were looking like grown men among boys, in my opinion. When I'm watching Randall, when I'm watching Brunson, when I'm watching, Mitchell Robinson, and I'm watching Quickley. Quickley almost looked like he was playing Summer League, So he's ready. Quickley's going to be ready. He's going to be an important part. I don't know how much Tom's going to continue to use this combination. I'm sure this is not the only time he's going to do it during the preseason. We're going to see. But Dante DiVincenzo, Emmanuel Quickley, and Grimes look like a really nice combination. They play really nice defense. The ball moved as you would expect very well. So I'm looking for him to do a little bit more of that to see how this works out. But I'm really looking to see Quickley and Grimes more together. I'm not knocking Dante, but Quickley and Grimes are the two. And when they played together last night, whenever the Knicks were made a run, it seemed like those two were on the floor together. And so that's something I'm going to continue to look for. And I think Tom is going to use it more. As I said last season, that was the best combination the Knicks had, Grimes and Quickley. Sometimes you'll probably have them with a Brunson. Sometimes you'll have them with a Dante. That's why I saw it was important that we saw him playing that last night. As far as team guys that make the team now, Hartenstein's ready. Because Hartenstein's a hustle player. Like I said, opening minute, opening night, he's going to be ready, just like Hart. Their games are not predicated on sharp shooting, right? But they play hustle game. They dive on the floor. They run the floor. They play high IQ basketball. He's ready to go, okay? Hartenstein's ready to go. Jericho Sims, what's interesting is that if you notice, he played Jericho Sims at the 4 a lot last night. Now, personally, I didn't think it looked too good, honestly, but Tom's not going to give up on it in the preseason. I'm 100% sure of that. So you're going to see more Jericho Sims at the 4 than during the course of this preseason, giving him a chance. Again, he was one of those that really earned his way into Tibbs' system, being drafted by the Knicks. And of course, Tibbs mentioned him, as really going hard in practice and standing out. So he's going to give him his opportunity. In other words, Jericho Sims is become a Tibbs guy. And that's a big time if Tibbs is coaching you. So I'm thinking he's going to not only have the backup center minutes as a starter, but he's also looking at Sims as a 4 to come in. And some of y'all have been whining about getting the backup 4. Well, he's going to give Sims some of those minutes if this works out. It didn't look that great to me yesterday. But again, this is just the first preseason game, so it's hard to judge. As far as the guys that are trying to make the team, I can't tell you. Like Jacob Toppin, for example. Jacob Toppin looked good. Okay. Why did he look good? Because Deuce gave him a nice alley-oop That was the big basket that he, highlight basket that looked like Obi. But I know people are going to get carried, but he's not an NBA player. He's not, okay? But will he make the G League team? Will he get a G League contract? Will he get a two-way contract? Will he go to the Knicks G League affiliate and play there? I think that's something that we could do. See, the problem is that Jacob Toppin is 24 years old. Okay, he's 23, 24 years old. He's not no kid. He's not like 19. So he's gotta learn fast. He's gotta learn fast because he's not no kid. Him and Obi both come into the league older. Obi too. Yeah. So maybe but the Knicks. When you look at Jeffries, when you look at Washington, when you look at Isaiah Roby, when you look at these guys, Windler, these guys are in their 20s, so if they're on the G League, the Knicks obviously would be favoring guys that might be a little older for the G League development. Maybe Toppin gets a shot there. Don't know. We'll see. It's too early to tell right now because, like I said, this is just the first preseason game. Deuce McBride looked good. He got 19 minutes. He didn't shoot the ball well, but overall, the point guard game looked pretty good. He looked like he's maturing as a basketball player, as an NBA player. So he looked well-rounded. He looked under control. That's what you want from a guy in that position. So he looked good. Fournier shot the ball well. Again, Fournier, wasn't playing no defense. He was -5, but he scored 11 points. That's typical Fournier. Okay, that's typical Fournier. He could shoot. He was 3 of 7 from 3. Okay, but at the same time, he was giving up shots and points as well. See, so that's typical Fournier. But again, the Knicks are probably showcasing him because what he showed was that he can come off the bench and be somebody back of the rotation guy that could hit shots for you. And I think that's, hopefully somebody, if it's a second round pick for him or something. That'd be nice. So we'll see what happens. But overall, I like the way our team looked. I can see the development from the preseason in terms of them getting these kinks out. They're going to be what we think they're going to be. If those of us that are predicting 50 plus wins, I can see that coming. Okay, Barrett, Grimes, Brunson, Robinson, Randall look very good. I still think when you add a Hartenstein, a Hart, a DiVincenzo, and an IQ, that's your back end rotation. That's your 4 guys coming off the bench. They're going to be dynamic. We haven't seen it yet. We didn't see it a lot last night, and that's cool. But I think when the season comes, they're going to be one of the best benches in the NBA. I can see that coming. I don't know what's going to happen with Deuce, but Deuce, to me and Sims, like I said, it's an 82-game season. They're going to get some opportunities to play. I don't know if they're going to get enough so that they can be able to keep Deuce at the end of the season, but we'll deal with that at the end of the season. Right now, we're trying to get this ECF thing going, right? Get this 50 plus in the bag. So the Knicks look good overall. I like the way Tibbs ran the rotations. I like the experiment, like I said, with Dante, Q-Dog, and IQ. IQ looks sharp. Everybody else is just coming into play. It's just, it's early. When they play the Celtics the second time next week, I think that's the last preseason game or one of them, of these Celtics of Washington, you'll see more from these guys by that time. And then, of course, 25th October opening night against the Celtics, it's going to be on at that time. So that, I like the way the Knicks are. I guess overall right now is what I'm saying. I like where they are. I'm not expecting too much. You shouldn't expect too much in the preseason, but the signs are there that they're going to be ready. Tibbs is going to have them ready to play opening night. They're going to be ready for a monster season this year. So let's keep enjoying them, man. The next time they play is Saturday night. The next one, they're playing, oh God, who are they playing Saturday night? They are playing the Timberwolves. Yep, is it Timberwolves? Yep, they play the Timberwolves Saturday night. Yeah, they're playing at the Madison Square Garden. I like that we're not traveling a lot during the preseason. So they play the Timberwolves in Madison Square Garden on Saturday night. Then next Tuesday at Boston, and then next Wednesday at Washington, and then there's 1 week until the season starts. So the next one at Minnesota, that's good. They get some practice in. They're continuing. This is what preseason and training camp's about. So they're getting themselves together. I like it. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. You all enjoy your Tuesday. Shalom.